welcome to Live in the Hive. I'm Michelle Eagleton and you're watching the only online magazine show dedicated to theatre across Greater Manchester. So for the next 30 minutes, stick with me. We've got news, reviews and interviews. And if you are a fan of the theatre world, then this is definitely the right place to be. Hello, if you're watching on the I Love Manchester Facebook page, that iconic city brand dedicated to community and culture, or if you're watching on our very own Live in the Hive Facebook page. We've got a great show in store for you tonight. We have got these guys. Yes, we've got the king of the jungle himself. We've got the star of Disney's The Lion King, Stephenson Arden-Sodje. He's going to be telling me about the musical and what it's like to be here in Manchester. And we're also going to be taking a look at a fantastic musical night called All That Jazz. It's being put on by one of the leading amateur operatic dramatic societies in Greater Manchester, St Dunstan's. It is going to be a cracking night. We're going to hear all about that a little bit later on. And of course, if that wasn't enough, every week we bring you this. But of course, it is Greater Manchester theatre news, and we have got a wonderful review of The Lion King on its way, and we're going to be talking about a prestigious awards ceremony which is happening here in Manchester on Monday. So should we kick off the show? Why not, guys? And let's kick it off with a big loud roar. Yes, because we have got the star of Disney's The Lion King joining us. Well, in fact, this was an interview that took place a couple of months ago when it was first announced that The Lion King was coming to Manchester. It'd been put off since lockdown. It's finally here now. It's arrived, and it's not just going to be here for the original 3 months that was planned. Oh no, it's going to be here until March 2023. The demand for it is so popular. It is the go-to-see show right now here in Manchester. And who better to tell us about it than the king of the jungle himself, Stephenson Arden-Sodje. Let's hear what Simba had to say.
The show is exactly the same as it would be on the West End. So in terms of the size and the scale, nothing's been stripped down, nothing's been taken away. It's not a sort of a tour version. It is the West End size production brought to, theatres around the country.
Gosh, I mean, I remember the first time that I saw it on stage and I was overwhelmed because, the puppetry and the whole spectacle of it, your jaw just kind of drops as you're going, wow, this is happening. And you get kind of the hairs on the back of your neck stand up with not just the spectacle, but the singing. And if I take you back to when you first got the role of Simba, I know you kind of had that same experience yourself, didn't you? Because didn't you go to see it after you were cast as Simba?
Yeah. So I have seen the show twice. The first time I saw it, I was 10. So I was the age that the young Simbas are in the show. And obviously it was, like you said, overwhelming is exactly the word. It was kind of such a big spectacle and you're just kind of washes over you as a kid. There's so much going on. And I didn't see it for years and years and years. And then the next time that I saw it, I had just found out I'd got the role and Disney gave me a ticket. So I was sitting in the center of the stalls in this kind of perfect position. It was right there. And yeah, I looked around as the show was starting and there were kids in the audience who were the age that I was when I first saw it. There were adults, there were people older than me. And as Rafiki came out and sang that kind of classic opening, of Circle of Life, tears just started rolling down my face. It was really this moment where I was like, oh my God, I'm going to be a part of this incredible legacy.
Not just a part of it, you are the man.
Yeah. And
you're the man with the mantle on its head as well, which, how heavy is that and how difficult is it to move around in that across the stage?
Yeah, it's a lot, I'll be honest. But it's interesting. It's I think the first time I put it on was in my final round of auditions. So I'd been going in, you sing a song, you do a scene, you do a bit of dance, you do all of that. And then I was at the final rounds, they film you and they kind of get everything set so they can sort of show everyone that needs to see it, people who might not be there. And they very sort of casually just said, "Oh, we're just going to do something a bit different today. We're going to put the Simba head on you." And so they got the
no pressure.
Mask. Exactly, yeah. But what's amazing about it is the moment you put that mask on, because it weighs, because there's a weight to it and there's a sort of a balance to it, you kind of bring your chest up and you find yourself kind of standing differently. And it's like wearing a crown. It feels like that. And so you have to become the Lion King, in a way.
It's like a test. It's almost like King Arthur. Can he pull the sword out of the stone? Can he put the mantle on?
Exactly, yeah. And I did, yeah. And you're totally right. Initially, moving around the stage, you feel like you've got this kind of weight on you, but your neck and your shoulders acclimatize, and you get used to it, and then you start moving with the with a sort of lion-y movement. And now I can't really imagine doing it without it. I think if I have to act without a hat on, it's going to be very strange.
Yeah, it's all part and parcel of feeling that character, isn't it? It's incredible to hear that story. I mean, going on tour with it and playing this role night after night, you must get to a point in the show where you're like, this is a bit I love. This is my moment. This is a point. What's that for you, Stephenson?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, there are so many different moments, and I think what's great about touring is that different places experience the show very differently. So we've been to Dublin so far, we've been to Bristol, we've been to Bradford, and now we're currently in Edinburgh. And each venue, you really do, the people who are watching the show give you a very different energy. So parts of the show that land in one place kind of land differently in another place, or parts of the show that you didn't realize kind of were funny, or you didn't realize were really, really serious. But one of the pieces that always kind of hits the same for me is it's what we call the apparition scene, which is when adult Simba is looking into the water, and then Mufasa, spoilers for those who haven't seen the show, but Mufasa, he has a conversation with Mufasa, and it's a moment that in the film is portrayed in a certain way, but on stage we portray it, obviously certain things have to be changed, certain things have to be shifted, and the theatricality of how we bring Mufasa to the stage is something that is so simple and yet so effective. And I think that can be said about so many moments in the show. Rather than relying on kind of big screens or gimmicks or anything like that, it's about really simple and classic pieces of theatre or styles of theatricality that come, and you just kind of look at them and you go, oh my God, that is exactly how that needs to work. And every night you feel this ripple go through the audience as Mufasa appears, where you just kind of go, wow, like we are all experiencing this moment exactly at the same time, live and kind of in communion with one another. And so that's a moment for me that I love that I get to share that with the audience.
Yeah, absolutely. When you feel like you're kind of, the show's making that impact, and the story itself, like you said, has the simplicity behind it as well, and that really fantastic message that you do kind of take home. And gosh, when you're in Manchester, you have got the 20 millionth person that is going to be seeing it while you're in that run. I'm like, can it be me?
I know, you feel like there should be like a string and then balloons and a banner comes down, don't you? It's quite a milestone.
It just shows how it stood the test of time to go from 1997 to 2022 and do that. And it's so exciting. I'm going to take you back though to the beginning of your career, because I think that's a story in itself. You hear these kind of like, when people get their break, but your break was something really epic. You were in a choir, and then you were in Hamilton. Come on, first job, Hamilton.
Yeah. It was kind of 0 to 100, I suppose. Yeah, it was very strange. So I'd never done anything professional, any professional musical theatre or any professional performance really at all. My degree is actually in English, so I was working in TV production, but behind the scenes doing sort of script work and singing in a choir, like you said. And somebody in the choir posted in our WhatsApp group that Hamilton were having open auditions. So I taped myself, sent it in, and many rounds of auditions later, they took me into the show. And so, I went into the show, and actually the first time I went onto the stage, my professional debut and my West End debut was covering Hamilton himself. So playing Alexander Hamilton in Hamilton.
That is amazing. Oh my God, that's a proper pinch me moment, really, isn't it? When you just think, wow, Hamilton. Did you ever get to meet Lynn?
Yeah, I met Lynn 3 times, I think. He's great.
So jealous. So jealous. Was he as
And
good as you expected him to be? Of course, we're talking of Lin-Manuel Miranda.
yeah, he I think the thing that is so great about Lin is he comes in and he just is exactly that kind of energy. You know, I'm sure loads of people have seen him on Graham Norton or on, you know, lots of the other interviews that he does. He has this kind of I don't know, just the sort of frenetic energy of a guy that you're like, you know, his mind's going a million miles a minute and he has so many different thoughts, so many different ideas, but he's so positive and he's so supportive. And yeah, it was always a lot of the time when the big bosses kind of come in, everybody gets a bit, you know, a bit shaky. But when we knew Lin was coming, it was like, oh, tonight's show is going to be huge. You know, like really, he sort of inspires you to do your best show. So that's really nice.
So going forward on this show, as I say, you know, you're here over Christmas. Does that mean you get time to pop back home to the Midlands to see your family? That must be great for you if that's going to happen, right?
Well, I mean, I think kind of what's amazing about being in the performance is like when it's other people's holiday, that's kind of our busiest time. So, you know, what I usually do around this time is I'll bring my mum and I'll bring my sister up and we'll have Christmas wherever we are. So when I was in the West End, it would be in London. And so it'll be in Manchester, which is great for them because it's not too far away.
I think we're allowed to say the C word, aren't we now? Christmas. It is definitely on its way around the corner. And of course, Stephenson there saying he is delighted to be here at Christmas and the following months. He's going to be here January, February and March, and those tickets are really selling like hotcakes. Go to see it if you can. It is like the golden ticket across Greater Manchester. Anyway, talking about Greater Manchester, it is of course a time for this. Yes, Greater Manchester Theatre News. What is going on in our fair city right now? What have we got to look out for and coming up? Well, look at these two stars. They are on their way to Manchester next year. Aidan Turner and Jenna Coleman starring in Lemons, 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 Lemons. What is it about though? Well, it is a romantic comedy about what do you say, how you say it, and what happens when you can't say anything anymore. It is quite provocative. It is funny as well, and it's coming direct from the West End and winging its way to us next March from the 21st to the 25th of March at the Opera House. Tickets are already on sale for that one. And this, wow, it is going to melt lots of hearts of families around England because, yes, the UK tour is about to happen of Disney's Winnie the Pooh, the musical. And as you can see there, it is a life-size puppets they are going to take to the stage. It features songs from the Sherman Brothers and A.A. Milne. It's set to be a cracker and perfect for the start of the summer holidays. Definitely watch out for that one. And of course, tomorrow sees the Royal Exchange's Bruntwood Prize for Playwriting Award. It's one of the most prestigious awards in the UK for playwriting. It is fantastic for giving new plays and new writers a chance to showcase their work in one of the biggest ways and shines a spotlight on the talent of the future. I have the honour of hosting this year's award, so I'm going to be down there myself. And I wanted to give you a bit of a sneak preview of the 14 shortlisted plays. Take a look.
My name is Georgia Bruce and I am the writer of Time Like the Sea.
My name is Dylan Vandenberg. My play is called Way Back When.
I'm David Dawson and I wrote the play The Institute.
My name is Rochelle Fong and I wrote The Red Lead.
My name is Jeremy Green. I wrote the China play.
I'm Dave Harris and I wrote the play Watch Me.
I'm Paddy Hughes. My play is Leave the Morning to the Morning.
My name is Martha Loader and I wrote the play Bindweed.
My name is Jasmine Mandigome and I wrote the script Allah in the Walls.
My name is Kirsty Marillier and I wrote the play The Zap.
My name is More Blessing Mature and my play is No Pink Dicks.
My name is Jill and I wrote the play 3.
My name's Nathan Queely Dennis. I have written Ballroom Techno Makeout Jams.
My name is Jane Upton and I wrote the play The Woman.
It's going to be a great event. I cannot wait to host it at the Royal Exchange on Monday. It starts at 3 and it will be streaming live on the Royal Exchange Facebook and YouTube channels. So do watch out for that one. Can you believe they whittled down 14 of those playwrights from 1,900 entries? It just shows you how much talent we have got here, and it is brilliant that they are going to get this amazing spotlight shone on them on Monday. I will keep you posted on my socials as well, and on at Live in the Hive UK, so do watch out for that one. Now let's take a look at our review of the week. It comes from Daisy, my little girl. She is 12 years old and she is a reviewer of the future, as you will see as she takes a look at what she thinks of The Lion King. Here's Daisy.
So last night I went to see The Lion King production at the Palace Theatre, and I have to say it was extremely breathtaking. It was absolutely amazing. I went with my dad and we both sat through the performance, mouths open. It was incredible. As you know, if you've seen the Disney film, Lion King follows the journey of Simba, the cub who faces lots of tragedy, to being the king of the jungle. I'm not going to reveal too much, but the story is so well developed throughout. My favourite character was Scar, because his costumes and his whole character was just perfect and fitting with the show. And I really liked Zazu, the bird, that was played by Matthew Forbes. I thought he did a great job of capturing the character's humour. So from the moment the animals come out at the start of the show, shocking you, you're just like immersed in this African landscape, and you are just taken into the world that is the Lion King, so you feel like you are in the performance. My favourite song in it was He Lives in You, which was originally sung by Rafiki, and there's a reprise, and it is just great. I can't stop singing it. Now, I would recommend this show to all ages. I would highly recommend to go and see it. It's a top tier Christmas show, and it's going to be here till March, so you better book now.
Oh, a brilliant review there from Daisy of Disney's The Lion King. More from Daisy in a few weeks' time. She'll be telling us about some of the pantomimes you can go to see across Greater Manchester. Now, of course, here at Live in the Hive, we are great supporters of any production, be it professional or amateur. And this week I caught up with Jackie Eade from St Dunstan's Amateur Operatic Dramatic Society to tell me about their latest show, and by goodness, it's a good one. Jackie, it's so great to have you. I'm very excited about this production that is being put on by St Dunstan's. It's called All That Jazz. Tell us about it.
All That Jazz is an idea that John Barry brought to us about 18 months ago. It's a celebration of jazz and swing musicals on Broadway, featuring some of the best loved swing and jazz musicals like Chicago, Cabaret, 42nd Street, Gypsy. I could go on, the list is endless. It's got some fantastic numbers in it.
So it is just a collection of these amazing show numbers. You mentioned John there. John, of course, is your musical director, isn't he, at St Dunstan's?
He is, yeah. He has fantastic ideas, and we thought, this is great, this is really good. We've got an 11-piece jazz orchestra and a cast of 26.
That is amazing, because the thing that I love about St Dunstan's, I know I've been there before and I've chatted to you guys, we've done pieces here on Live in the Hive about your society, is that you kind of get this thing about amateur operatic dramatic societies. It's almost like people go, oh, I might not go to that because it might not be of the same standard. I go to your productions and it is like I could be in the Opera House, you know, or the Palace Theatre. There is real talent at amateur operatic dramatic societies, aren't there?
Absolutely. I mean, often people say, wow, I've seen worse professionally, but it's amazing. People walk through the door, especially our building. Our building from the outside isn't great, but they walk through the door and they are hit by a fantastic orchestra, a brilliant cast, We build all our own sets. We've just invested in new curtains for our stage. So we've got a swish new gauze, we've got new blacks. We've been working with the parish to revamp the bar area. So we've got a lovely new bar area. And we do our best to make sure that people walk through and get a fantastic experience of theatre in our hall.
For some, it might be their first experience of theatre, which is brilliant. I've been in the audience and seen children there, you know, that it's their first kind of show that they can see. There's a lot of heart, I think, in what your society does and other societies, because you mentioned the blacks there. It is because people come to see the shows that you can raise the money for that, isn't it? So it's really important.
It is. Any money that we make, we put back into the society. We buy lights, we buy things that will enhance what we're doing. We're not about making money and putting it away. We reinvest into the society because we want to put on shows that people will come along and thoroughly enjoy. We enjoy putting them on. We have such a laugh. I mean, in fact, this show, we have had such fun at our rehearsals with lots of laughter, lots of giggles, lots and lots of hard work. We're a family and we enjoy being together. And I think that's the heart of our society.
That's it. I mean, there's people there that are lifelong friends. They make friendships there. It's like generations of different families. It is such a really nice vibe. But getting back to the production, you wowed me with all those songs there and different numbers. That's amazing. Broadway tunes. Have you got a favourite, Jackie, that you like?
Oh gosh.
I mean, I know it's like picking your favourite child, isn't it? But
I know I have to be careful because when you're producing it, if you say one thing, they'll all go, "All right, okay." The chorus numbers are fantastic, very, very powerful. We've got some excellent singers on that stage. We've got some cheeky little duos. I don't want to give too much away because I don't want to spoil. We've got a couple of cheeky little duos going on there. I think for me, the opening number, we're singing All That Jazz, is brilliant. You get the theatre, the lighting. Phil Nichols, our lighting guy, is working wonders with the lighting. And because we've got the gauze as well, the effects that he is creating, he's in his element. He's loving it, absolutely loving it.
Can we expect a few Fosse moves in there?
Oh, absolutely. We've been practicing our Fosse moves. And for some of our dancers, it's the first time they've tried that. So they're working really hard on that as well. It's great. And the chorus numbers, the final number, something from a chorus line, 1, is just absolutely brilliant.
Amazing. I have never seen a chorus line on stage. So actually, to be able to get, a number from it, and also what the show is going to give is it's going to whet your appetite for, do I really want to go see that full musical? There's some things that people just kind of go to automatically, like your Phantoms, your Miss Saigons, all of that. But when you think of other shows that they might not have, like Chicago, actually, they may never have gone to see it. It might mean, I'll go and give it a go. I can't let you go, though, without talking to you about your next production after this, which I know you're. I am super excited. You've already had auditions, haven't you?
Well, auditions are in 2 weeks. We've
still got time.
You've still got time. We are auditioning for 9 to 5. We're very, very excited about this. It's different for us. It's a modern show. We are super, super excited about that. And the auditions are 27th of November, I think. So fingers crossed. So
yes. And if anybody wanted to get involved in the society, do they have to go on a waiting list, Jackie, or can they turn up? How does that work?
We are a very open society. We're very all-inclusive. If people would like to get in touch with us, they can do it through Facebook or through our email address. They are more than welcome to come down to a rehearsal, come and meet people. We always say, come for the first week and try us out. And if you like us, you'll come back the second week. We don't have auditions for chorus members. We audition for our principals. And then we've had people walk in and said, oh, I'll try it out for a week, and they're still there 5, 10, 15, 20, even a few of them a lot longer than that.
Oh, brilliant. That's great. I will put up your details so if anybody wants to get involved. And of course, the main thing is that you are going to be performing next week, in fact, from the 15th until the 18th. It's going to be absolutely fabulous if people can get down there, all that jazz at St. Dunstan's. It's going to be a really special night. Some top class talent, because I've seen the talent that you've got, and some great tunes to make you smile. And we need that, don't we, Jackie?
Absolutely. We hope people walk out of that show having seen one of their favourites. But if they don't know those musicals, going away and, like you say, thinking, oh, I might go and watch that somewhere else. We want people to come in, enjoy themselves, and walk out feeling really good about themselves.
Well, they definitely will. Good luck with it, Jackie.
Thank you.
I'll see you at St. Dunstan's soon. Definitely try and get to see that if you can. All that jazz there at St. Dunstan's in Moston, North Manchester. It's going on from the 15th to the 18th of November. And just check out their Facebook page at St. Dunstan's AODS for more information on how to get tickets. And if you're thinking about going to see something at the theatre and don't know where to go, all you need to do is visit I Love Manchester's website. They've got loads about what is going on across our fair city. And also you can keep up with us on our social media pages. We're at Live in the Hive 21. And we will be back next week with more from the world of theatre across Greater Manchester, with news, interviews and reviews right here on Sunday at 8 o'clock. We live on the I Love Manchester Facebook page and the Live in the Hive Facebook page. If you're not following us already, give us a follow, spread the word, and I'll see you next week.